Hi, I'm Dictate. I'm a OSU featured artist. I make electronic music.
Hey guys, Philip here. So I'm here with Dictate. He's an OSU featured artist. He's 19, as you heard, and I'm just gonna talk to him for a bit, get to know him as a person and as an artist, and just see what kind of music he creates and what made him start doing that. So, hi Dictate. I'm glad to have you here today. Really excited to talk to you.
Yeah, me too.
I really like listening to your music. It's definitely not something that you listen to every day, but it definitely fits my mood sometimes, and I just really like enjoying both playing maps that have your music in it and just actually like listening it regularly on Spotify or wherever. So,
I appreciate it.
Tell me, first of all, when did you start creating music? How did that happen?
So I started making music in 2012. It was like June 2012. I was on UKF dubstep, and like I would listen to the songs on there. I think like Affixia was a big, or no, it was a Affixia, Eptic were like huge inspirations when I first started, and like I heard all that stuff and I was like, wow, I want to know how they make that. So I started learning FL Studio, and I gradually I gradually got into like producer communities on Skype, and actually Vinxis was one of those people that were in one of those early production communities that I was in, funnily enough. And yeah, I just kind of bounced ideas off my friends, and that's how I improved early on.
I see. And tell me, you just said that Mixes was in there also in those early Skype groups. Can you tell me, did you talk to him like specifically, like, and did you become friends with him at any point, or was he just someone who was there with you?
He was just kind of like someone who was like in my adjacent space. I was never like super close to him, but yeah, I think we talked a few times. It was so long, it was like 8 years ago, but yeah.
So you didn't like really stem a friendship with him like 8 years ago. He was just someone who was there that you remember.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone in that circle was kind of like friends-ish with each other, kind of more acquaintances. You know, I had my main group, but it was kind of just like a whole, yeah, just kind of like acquaintances.
I see. And considering that you started listening, well, you probably listened to music before. My phone is ringing. Just a second. There we go. Considering that you previously listened to like EDM and whatnot, I assume you did that before 2012, obviously.
Yeah.
So I remember back in 2012, EDM wasn't really that big of a music genre, like mega genre, however you want to call it. And I know that specifically dubstep was the most popular like genre back then. It was much more grittier, no melodies, no, just like wobs and dubs, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Did that inspire you to? Did you really want to make music like that from the get-go, or what was your imagining of the type of music that you wanted to create?
I think I really did just kind of want to emulate that like dubstep, like Monster Cat sound a whole lot. I know like Rogue was a big inspiration early on. Yeah, I think when I was really trying to find my sound, it was like Monster Cat that I was looking to in like 2013.
Yeah, that's when I started listening to Monster Cat as well.
Yeah.
Insane, like Going Quantum, Epsilon, I think that's how you say his name. And more like chill artists like Rameses B that came on later as well. But in 2013 or so, it was all about electro, dubstep, hardstep, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, drum step was a thing.
Yeah, so so we can say that that was like, Jesus Christ. So you can say that basically that's your inspirations, like Monster Cat, or only Monster Cat, that is.
I wouldn't say currently. I really actually don't like that stuff now, like at all. But they were definitely like really pivotal in like my foundations as an artist. Like I think those things I still retained some like philosophy from them, just from like bare like psychological imprint that it made on me. But yeah, my influences are very, very, very different now.
Well, yeah, well, obviously, as you
Yeah.
grow as an artist and just a person in general, you tend to switch focus on what you actually like.
Yeah, for sure.
So, really glad to have found another Monster Cat fan, especially from those earlier days. I've been glued to them ever since 13.
There was
2013.
There was like a boom of bedroom producers that I came from around that like 2012 UKF dubstep era. It was like I think it was Skrillex with Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites that kind of started that off.
Yeah, definitely.
Just a whole bunch of kids that wanted to start making dubstep, and that's kind of where I came from.
And tell me, when you originally started producing music, you like straight go for record companies, or you know, like music release companies like Monster Cat, or did you just release them on your own? What was the early feedback like?
I definitely just released some of my own for a long time. I did want to eventually get like on a record label. I know I was really aiming for Monster Cat back in like 2013, early like 2014. But you know, obviously I wasn't good enough because I'd been producing for such a short amount of time. But yeah, I think by the time like I, was making music that maybe could have been given a shot there, I kind of fell out of love with the label. So I've always kind of liked the idea of record labels. Obviously the one that I'm on now, Renraku, is like amazing. I love them. It's like perfect for me. So I think I'm gonna stay here for a while. But in the early days, I definitely just self-released a lot because I, didn't really get an opportunity to release anywhere else.
And tell me, in the early days, did you find any success in self-releasing? Not specifically monetary, but more like people finding out about you and listening to your music and, telling you nice things like, oh, I really like this, I really like that. How was that for you?
Yeah, there was a really active community on SoundCloud back then. Like, it was like 2012 through 2015 is when it was really active. That was a really good space where people just like commented on tracks, like said, hey, this is really good. Got a lot of plays usually because there was a really large producer like fan base there. A lot of it was like producers listening to other producers' music and not more of like a general audience. So that like feedback from other producers who like are similarly skilled was really nice to have.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't really recall anything about me listening on SoundCloud. I just preferred YouTube, but
exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I know nowadays SoundCloud really fell off hard. So that's kind of unfortunate. I don't really see anything happening on SoundCloud anymore.
Yeah, it's really sad because it's really the only space that has a community that people can just upload whatever tracks they want without like copyright worries. Because like you can't upload bootlegs on Spotify because that'll get taken down instantly.
Yeah. But
yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah, SoundCloud used to be really a place where new upcoming artists could just show themselves off, and I don't know if anyone ever got a gig from SoundCloud, but I could probably imagine someone doing that. It's like having your mixtape. It's like having your mixtape to go, you know, online.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell me about current day. Do you have any inspirations, like, you know how people get writer's block? Do you ever feel like that? How do you overcome that? You know, what's your to-go to listen to when you're feeling like you just have no ideas to do something new?
Oh yeah, I can name two major inspirations for me. One of them, or three actually. One of them is my friend N2. No one really knows who he is, but he's an incredible artist. He just does everything that I do, but better, pretty much. And then another huge inspiration is Igloo Ghost. It's like another massive inspiration for me. All of his music is, you know, again, like another version of what I want to do. And then my third biggest inspiration is Clark. He has an album from 2006 called Body Riddle that is just like beyond ahead of its time. It's like the most innovative electronic music album I've ever heard, and it was released in 2006. So a lot of the things that he does, primarily like very detuned, like focus on texture, natural sounds that are put in an unnatural context. That kind of stuff is really inspiring to me. So those are the three artists that I listen to when I'm kind of feeling down. Also, another huge inspiration for me is I'm really into like Japanese math rock and all that, like the kind of the stuff that disco maps. I've actually found quite a few artists from his maps that I just like fell in love with.
Yeah, I think Disco really has a unique, how do you say that? He really has a unique taste for music as far as what he maps.
Yeah.
I don't really know him, but I think he maps banger after banger, so definitely someone to look out for if you need new music to listen to or any inspiration. So before we actually move on to OSU related stuff, I just wanted to quickly talk about something that I noticed. You were a big part of the Unity project by Corporate. So I see that there are like 4 parts. I see that you were a part of, I think, every single one of them.
I was part of part 2.
Part 2. I think I saw you in... I probably messed up. Yeah.
It was just Pencilina, yeah.
Yeah, Pencilina. So how did you come about that? I mean, you're like right next to some great artists like AU5, one of my favorites of all time, Joe Ford, Signal, just a bunch of like really good guys, famous or not. They really have like similar tastes in music, and they produce similar stuff. So how did you come about to getting into that quote-unquote project?
So that was actually a really interesting project. The way it worked was somebody from the Culprit Discord, his name was Vlad, he had the idea to organize like a series of collaboration projects with Culprit through his Twitch community. And so he posted like an application form, I think it was, on the Discord. I don't know if it was an application form or he reached out to people individually. I totally forget. But you like sent a song in, and then Vlad would send it to Culprit, or you sent like an idea in, and then Vlad would send that to Culprit, and then Culprit basically chose the ones that he liked the best. So, and then obviously I was one of those. So we ended up just making that track in like 2 or 3 days. And yeah, it's funny because that the thing that I sent him, I made like 2 years prior to that, and it was actually inspired by him, and I had just never worked on it until that, and then I figured why not send this to him. And then that became Pencilina.
And tell me, when who reached out to you in the end? Was it Vlad or was it Corporate himself?
It was Vlad. It was Vlad first, I think I only had I only talked to Culprit really like while we were working on the project. So yeah.
I see. Well, when Vlad let you know that you're like in, if you can say it like that, how did you feel like working with someone like Culprit?
I was really excited to be working on a track with Culprit because he's definitely another like huge inspiration for me. His Deliverance album is like incredible. So yeah, it was like he was like this mythical figure that like, oh, I want to see a Culprit project so bad type person.
How did you feel collabing with him? Did you like? I'm not sure how collabing would work in the music industry, especially because you're not like right next to him. It's like over Discord or something. So how did that go? Were there any obstacles, or did you like get along like doing Legos or something like that?
Oh, it was super smooth. Like it just everything just flowed really naturally. There wasn't any like huge obstacle at all really. It just kind of like I think it only took like 3 passes back and forth to finish it. And then like he did all the mixing and mastering, or no, he didn't do the mastering, but he did all the mixing. Yeah, it was just like a really smooth process.
And tell me, did you take anything away from that collab? Any new tips and tricks, anything like that?
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot about like mixing and sidechaining and EQing from him. I definitely studied that that project a lot once he sent it back to me. Because yeah, it sounds so clean.
Yeah. And tell me, was he willing to like teach you stuff, or was it just like, okay, let's make this track? Did you have any like questions? How is he like when you talk to him? Was it like, oh hey, I'm not sure how to do this, can you like show me or give me advice? Was he ever like willing to help you out like that?
I don't think I even had any like major questions about the project. It was definitely more of like a formal business interaction than anything else. Yeah, I don't think I had any like major questions about like what we did in the project, because there wasn't really anything like super complex going on. It was just kind of like a good composition. But yeah, he's a pretty busy guy, so I kind of didn't really want to bother him a whole lot with like unnecessary stuff.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's totally understandable. So now we're gonna move on to the Osu part. Tell me, I think you played Osu before you even got the featured artist title, yeah?
Yeah, I think for like 2 years prior to that, yeah.
And tell me, when did you? I'm not even sure when your first like song got ranked. Was that prior to you being a featured artist or before?
No, that was way after I became featured artist. I think I only saw the first map of any of my songs like a year before I became featured. I think it was a Selectus map of Pencilina, and like I was just so shocked that anyone would even like map my music. So I reached out to him and I was like, "Hey, thanks for mapping this." And he was like,
"Whoa." Any response?
Yeah, he was like, "Whoa, is that actually you?" I guess he was really surprised to see that I like played the game.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you had a good interaction even before you became a featured artist. I just wanted to see, did you like be a part? Were you like a part of the community before then, or were you just like?
Oh
playing,
yeah,
like just
yeah. I was like super addicted to the game way before I became featured. It was really bad. Yeah, I was like super into the community. I would like go on Reddit a whole lot. I had like Discord servers I was in. I made friends through the game. I think I was like rank 40k or something when I became featured. So it was like 3,000 or 4,000 PP.
And tell me, how did the idea of you becoming a featured artist even happen? Did someone reach out to you? Did you reach out to them? How was that interaction?
Yeah, I was actually it's actually a really funny story how it happened. So I got a random message in game from somebody, and it was an invite to the Osu Midwest server. And so I almost didn't join it because I didn't like, it was a random Discord link, but I decided to join it. And then I got talking to Moon, if you know him, the mapper. And eventually the topic of my music came up, and I sent him my SoundCloud, and he was like, "Whoa, I'm gonna send this to Ephemeral right now." And then like a few days later, I was sitting in math class at school, and I saw an email, and it was a forum message from Ephemeral, and like my brain put two and two together, and I like instantly knew what was happening. And so I like started shaking, and I was like trying to keep my cool while in class. So yeah, that was a really fun day.
And tell me, do your like friends, did they know that you do music production? Did they know about, you know, us and how you got to be a featured artist? Was that something that you shared with your friends, or was it something that you like just, you know? How
yeah, definitely.
Were your friends really excited for you? How was that?
Yeah, they knew all about my music stuff. Like my school friends, my IRL friends, they all knew about it. So when I like the day I got the offer, I told them all, and they were like super excited for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually like a little like inside joke we have where we'd write like "follow Dictate" on SoundCloud around the school or whatever, like wherever we can.
Okay. So that's kind of hilarious. But tell me, how is interacting with Ephemeral? Like, I think he's a really nice guy. I just recently started looking at the autographic stream. That's like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I just recently started following that because Peppy tweeted out. I was like, wait, what's this? And it's really it's the music that I like listening to. I don't get to tune in too often, but I really like just sitting there and listening to music for a bit. And I know that he's also in there, Peppy's in there, like a lot of the staff is in there. They all like listening to that stuff.
Yeah.
So I know that Ephemeral is obviously into the style of music that you're creating. So how was it like talking to him?
Ephemeral is like probably the nicest staff member. He's just like a memer. He's just so chill. Like, you can shitpost with him. He'll send me shit sometimes. He's really busy though, so sometimes it's hard to get a response from him. But yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah,
I know all about those late responses. You know, when I'm like creating my own content, and I'm like, "Hey, Ephemeral / Peppy, this is really not clear what the hell happened here from the year of 2014 to 2015. Can you tell me what the hell happened here? Because there's a lot of holes in also history regarding some stuff, whether it be, as I said, the Featured Artist Initiative or just anything. There's not... a lot of stuff isn't documented properly, so that's what I aim to do usually. But yeah, it's really hard to get at them sometimes and just get them to talk to you. But obviously it's not because they don't want to talk to you, just because, you know, they're busy people. Just
yeah, they're super busy.
Hundreds of people constantly help me on this, on that, on band, whatever. Like, I completely get it. But
yeah.
So how was the whole ordeal about getting yourself as a featured artist? How did the process go? You know, he sends you a forum message and you're like, oh my god, yes, let's go. And then, like, you know, what next? Because nobody besides really featured artists knows what happens behind those quote-unquote close the doors. Obviously you'll have to tell me, oh, he gave me X amount of money per track. I just want to know what's the process like. What you had to do and what they had to do.
Yeah, so I can't actually tell you the rates. That I've been told not to expose those. But
you can or can't?
I can't. I can't tell you the rate.
That's completely fine.
Yeah.
I wasn't even...
Yeah, so initially we just kind of talked over Discord about how it's going to work, and so usually you'll get reached out by like one of the staff, probably Ephemeral or Toy or Pishy, I think, one of them. And then you they ask you for like a certain like whatever songs they want from you, really, and then you can suggest some if they miss some. But yeah, they give you like a list of songs they would like, and then you get a contract to sign that has like all the legal binding stuff, like the licensing information and everything, and then yeah, you send them the actual audio files, and then the Mappers Guild. I think the Mappers Guild was just forming when I was getting featured. They start mapping your stuff, and then you get like your featured artist profile made, and then you send them all of like your social links and everything. And then Ephemeral writes a nice bio about you. They're always good. And then when you're ready to, and everything's all like licensed and ready to go, they make the forum post. And then the Reddit post happens, and the community's like, "Wow, Dragon Force."
You had to say it. You had to say it.
I know. I hate it. I hate the Dragon Force thing so much.
Yeah, I think as much as it's a cool meme, it just kind of undervalues when a cool artist gets ranked.
Yeah,
because Dragon Force is gonna get featured. Man,
yeah, I was really annoyed with the hints in the posts for a while, because it would take away recognition from the actual artist, and people would just guess the next one. So I'm really happy they moved it to the OSU Twitter. That was probably the best decision they've made with the program.
Yeah. Well, I don't really care about the hints, mostly because they can't really figure it out. But I'm always happy to see good artists get into the initiative. So
yeah, there's so many good artists.
Yeah. Tell me.
Oh, speaking of good artists, I just want to shout out Billy and Moto quick.
Hell yeah, I know him.
He is easily the most like underappreciated artist I've ever met. He's so good.
Do you know that he won the first and only DJ contest for OSU?
He did. That's the OSU Mixer title.
Yeah, that's correct. In my, I don't know if you watched, doesn't matter really. I did mention him in the Rare OSU titles video. He did a really good remix. It even got ranked. Someone made a map of it. I didn't really follow him up afterwards, but I know of him. You know, it's not like who. But yeah, I definitely know about him. I think I might just check his stuff out later, because I liked his remix of the OSU main theme or whatever it was.
Yeah, I would recommend checking out his album Rabbit Hole. It's such a solid album. And then he was actually on the Nier Automata, or the Nier remix album that I participated in recently. He had 2 tracks. One was Pas Revoir, and then one was I forget the name of it. I think it was Evening. He had 2 remixes that he did, and they're both incredible. So yeah, I would check those out.
So tell me, when you were in the process of getting the songs licensed, were you like in a were you signed for a record company back then, or were you still like writing solo?
Yeah, I was on Renraku at that point. That's, if you see the R on my name on the profile, on like the featured artist profile, that's that's Renraku, and you'll see that, like, I think you'll see it like 3 or 4 times on the page, and those are all Renraku artists. So like Akira Complex, Billin, me, and then I think that's it.
So did you have any troubles with them? I mean, of course you wouldn't have any troubles. You said they're great, but how did it go between you licensing your songs out to us while continuously like having songs with them? I'm not sure how that works. Was there any clash or anything like that? How did that work? Yeah,
so it actually, there's no legal conflict, because they're not actually buying the rights to the song. They're just getting a license to use it in a game. So yeah, it's able to coexist. So there's no issue there. I think the only trouble with it is that I have to give half of my revenue from like the licensing income to my label, which is like whatever, it's fine. They handle all of the like the actual paperwork for me. So it's a trade-off.
Yeah. And tell me, when you say revenue, is that like when you license songs out, is that like a one-time thing, or is it like annual or whatever? I'm not sure how that works.
It's a one-time payment.
I see. And tell me, when you're a featured artist, if you release anything afterwards that might interest the staff, can you like add songs on later, or how does that work?
Yeah, I've done that. I think I've done that once. I've done that. Yeah, it was my latest no, it was my single Oddity and World End Sequence, and then I had Secede licensed as well. Yeah, you can just keep adding to your profile. It's not like a one-time like dump of songs.
That's good. I just want to check that. I'm really interested in like all this stuff, but I don't like care about pricing. I just want to see how the system works.
Yeah.
Because why not? You know, why not know about that stuff? So tell me, when the paperwork was done, the dust was settled, did you like, well, besides monetary, did you like benefit from being an also featured artist? How did that affect your life?
Oh yeah. It's definitely, I definitely have more people like recognizing me around like the community. For better or for worse, from the I think shortly after that I did like the Haramachi Clover thing, and I really regret that because that's kind of how people know me now.
What do you mean the Haramachi Clover thing?
You know the dictate edit thing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just like, I don't know, I don't really care, it doesn't matter, right? Just make a single map, it's stupid, but, you know, just people like Blue Dragon or Miss Magius now are also suffering from that same syndrome, where like shit map a few things, they get really popular, and then you're always known as the shit map, shit posting guy. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate, but I think as time passes, people are gonna forget about it. I think that map is already out of fashion, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot less now, because like more people know me for my music now. I hope, but I don't get as many messages like, oh, you're the Haramachi Clover guy.
That would hurt me if I got those messages.
Yeah, I think I don't get them very often anymore.
That's good.
But yeah, I definitely I got more recognizable in the community, I guess.
Well, did it help you like outside of the OS community? Because you can't really put on a resume that you're like a featured artist in a game. I mean, you probably could, but it's just not like an official title, I guess. Just like,
it's definitely great to have like on a resume of sorts for like anything music related. It's a pretty big deal to be like, hey, I make music for this game.
Yeah. Well, tell me, when we spoke previously, you said that you did a few gigs. So can you describe the experience to me? What was it like doing your first gig? Was it like your music, or was it just like some generic or mainstream type of stuff? What did you play?
Yeah, so my first gig was actually in a janky apartment in Detroit. Yeah, I think we crammed like 100 or 200 people in this like really small apartment, and we had the DJ set up in the kitchen.
Free pizza?
And
free pizza? I mean,
there was no free food. It was like 30-minute sets. I was set up like in front of a refrigerator or something. It was janky, but in the best way possible. It was a really fun event. I tried to play as much of my music as I could. But you know, I like to play music from my influences as well.
Well, was it like a party where you could play that type of stuff? Was it like just like,
yeah, it was like a pretty underground like bass music type event, so I was pretty welcome there. Also, my friend Aleph was there. Shout out to him.
and tell me the reception was good, I assume.
Yeah, it was a really fun event. Had quite a few people there.
Well, I'm really glad about that. I've been thinking about what I want to do, and I installed FO Studio like 3 times now. I opened it for 10 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do that, and I just close it.
Yeah.
It's just, I really, I love music. That's why I want to talk to featured artists. I want to talk to you, because music just makes me feel like some way that I cannot describe. It's just like, I know that a lot of people get this feeling, but I know there's some people that really don't have those feelings towards music. But music can really describe something better than words can, or any images.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So when I listen to your music, I'm not gonna go in depth with how I feel, but it really just puts me in a good atmosphere that I enjoy. I'm not. I hope you don't get mad, but I kind of think that music is a bit edgy in a way that it's harder than most of the stuff that it's getting released nowadays. If it was 2013, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is some good shit. But in current year, it's like, damn, this shit fucking rocks. Because, I mean, it's not something that you generally listen to today. Like neuro stuff, neuro hop, and similar genres are like dying really bad. So getting to listen to something new from that's really good.
It's the neuro community was really small to begin with. I think pretty much everyone who was making it was pretty local. Like in like late 2014, 2015, we were all pretty localized on NeuroHop forum. If you've ever heard of that, probably not.
No.
But yeah, that's where like False Noise came from. That's where I like got my neuro knowledge from. Frequents from there, Vorso's from there, Signals from there, or Imanu as he's now called. Who else is from there that you might know? I know Billin did some stuff there, but he was never like a very social person. I know that Green Parrot was from there. Just like a ton of people that are like underground musicians, probably underground musicians that have bass music roots probably came from there.
And tell me that forum is, I assume, long dead, unfortunately.
Yeah, it shut down in 2016, I think, because no one used it anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad we got to chat. I really don't know what else I could ask you. So if you have any shoutouts, anything that you want to say, you can just go ahead and do that, and you'll slowly wrap this up.
Yeah, I have a new song out right now. My Copied City remix is on my SoundCloud. My Twitter is Dictate Music. Look me on Spotify. My OSU profile. Add me.
And let's go. But yeah, I'll put everything down in the description, and I really recommend that you guys check out the Dictate. I think that nowadays is not really the cup of tea for everybody, but the right people find the right music. So I hope that I helped someone find the Dictate and become addicted to his stuff, because it's really good. So thank you, Dictate. I'm definitely gonna be.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. I'm definitely just gonna see if I can get this started as soon as possible. I really like your music and everything. I'm really excited to talk to you. And
I like your videos.
Thank you. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Dictate, for speaking to me. And yeah, just check out Dictate. He's a really good guy. Alright, see ya.
Peace out.